This is a very special message for someone who has sensed a momentous shift in their life. You may feel the echoes of it in your dreams, or notice that certain energies, once so oppressive, now glance off you without leaving a mark. You've done something recently, perhaps without fully realizing its significance, that has formed an invisible barrier around your spirit. This isn't mere coincidence. No, you have crossed an unseen threshold, protected now from negative energies that once seemed relentless. Everything in you recognizes it. The weight you carried has lightened. The shadows have retreated, and a quiet power has stirred within you. If you recognize this, resonates in the depths of your intuition, then do this next step with heartfelt intention. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 77 below to signal that you welcome and affirm this transformation your soul has already begun. Chapter 1. A door you once feared is about to open you. Once stood before a door of enormous consequence. Though you weren't sure what lay behind it, your spirit sensed the immensity of its power, and a trembling wove through your heart each time you approached. Some part of you knew that crossing this threshold would change your life in ways you couldn't predict. So you lingered in the familiar shadows for longer than you'd like to admit. Yet within those shadows, an insistent voice kept urging you closer, telling you that fear was only the barrier before the breakthrough. This is the same door that relates so intimately to what you've just accomplished. You performed an act, perhaps a small gesture, perhaps a grand statement of profound authenticity. It might have been a declaration you spoke in private, a healing you facilitated for yourself, or a vow you took under the cloak of night. Whatever shape it took, the effect was immediate. You began to notice that negativity no longer adhered to you as it once did. It was as though you had found the key to a lock that kept your spirit ensnared in low vibrational cycles. And now the door you once feared stands ajar, revealing not danger, but a realm of solace. For so long, hidden antagonists, whether they were people who doubted your worth or energies that thrived on your self-doubt, tried to keep you from that very door. They whispered that you were unprepared or unworthy, hoping you would never glimpse the truth of your cosmic DNA. Because once you realized the fullness of who you are, illusions would crumble. Universal laws, such as the law of vibration, ensure that once your frequency ascends, you become a match only for experiences and energies that resonate at your higher state. No matter how cunning these antagonists were, they could not override your alignment once you chose it. Some called them watchers, beings or presences that observe your spiritual evolution. They too see your progress and stand in silent applause each time your foot moved closer to that threshold. They noted your courage. They understand that ancestral protection runs deep in your bloodline, that your path has been woven through countless ages of souls forging resilience. This synergy of watchers, ancestors, and cosmic law forms a scaffolding for you to lean on. When the old illusions try to tug at your mind, you find they've lost their grip, for your newfound shield of authenticity deflects them effortlessly. Before, the door stood as a menacing symbol of the unknown. Now it is an invitation to liberation. You realize that every fear you ever had about stepping through was merely a reflection of illusions. The watchers, in their wisdom, knew you needed to face them to discover your unshakable self. And now, as you turn that handle, you sense no intimidation. You are calm, assured, and curious. The negative energies that used to swirl around your feet have dispersed, as if acknowledging your right to pass unchallenged. So much more awaits on the other side. Life experiences, connections, epiphanies that expand your vision. But for this moment, take a breath and acknowledge how far you've come. The door you once feared is about to open, and you walk through it, shielded, protected by the very transformation you invoked, by the recent act that signaled to the universe you are ready for greater things. The watchers remain at the periphery, quietly ensuring you are guided. Though you need no lifeline now, you hold your own. Your soul stands at the threshold of a new era, one where negativity is no longer a fixture in your daily existence, but a relic that cannot withstand your elevated frequency. Chapter 2. The Seed That Grew into a Shield. Your journey to this moment didn't begin with a grand revelation. It began with a seed, planted in the soil of your life by forces you might not have even recognized at the time. Perhaps it was a whispered promise you made to yourself after enduring a heartbreak, or a small ritual of self-worth that marked your resolve to step out of cycles of pain. That seed was an intention, a vow to honor who you are beneath the layers of expectation, betrayal, and doubt. Over time, despite storms of adversity, it sprouted. The hidden antagonists who lurk in the background would have preferred it remain dormant. They knew that if it ever blossomed, you'd become impervious to their manipulations. These adversaries might appear in many forms: a condescending colleague, a draining relationship, or even the vestiges of your own self-sabotage. If they could keep you doubting your dreams, your brilliance, your cosmic inheritance, then they could perpetuate their illusions. But universal laws tilt the scales in favor of those who align with their highest truth. Each tribulation watered the seed rather than destroying it, fueling its eventual emergence as a shield that stands unbroken against negativity. Ancestral protection also fortified the seed. Whether you felt the guidance of your forebears in waking life or through dream communication, they had a hand in nurturing your soul's delicate bud. They understood that the lineage you carry wasn't meant to be overshadowed by trivial illusions. Their own struggles, centuries past, laid the groundwork for your current path. And so, in subtle ways, they directed you toward the knowledge you needed. Maybe a random conversation triggered a healing epiphany, or a book fell from a shelf at just the right moment, opening a chapter about soul reclamation. Such synchronicities were no accident. They were the ancestors leaning in, ensuring the seed had exactly the nutrients required. Over time, you sensed the seed growing. You felt it in your shifting relationships, in your evolving sense of self, in the quiet power that replaced your previous timid acceptance of negativity. Each day, illusions lost a bit more traction, their roots pried loose by your expanding awareness. You discovered that negativity can only thrive where self-doubt lingers. With each new step into authenticity, you uprooted doubt at its source. It wasn't easy. Old habits of fear and self-criticism kept surfacing, trying to steer you back into old ruts. Yet the Watchers gently reminded you that your shield is not dependent on external validation. It arises from the core of your being. Then came the moment of fulfillment, an act so subtle you might not have realized its cosmic significance at first. You might have offered forgiveness where bitterness once reigned, or bestowed compassion on yourself instead of criticism. Whatever the nature of that gesture, it served as the final piece of a puzzle you've been assembling over lifetimes. Suddenly, the seed unfolded fully, and the shield became an everyday reality. Now, negativity glances off you like water off a lotus leaf. You notice your environment shifting. People who thrived on drama or manipulation fade into the background, replaced by those who support and energize you. Even your thoughts carry a new frequency, no longer revolving around blame or despair, but radiating acceptance, love, and clarity. To the Watchers, this is the fruit of your labor, the reason they've stood vigil over your evolution. What grows from the seed you once planted is not simply an invisible shield, but a transformative aura that shifts the energy in every room you enter. Negative forces, illusions, and manipulative tactics find no foothold. This is not accidental. It is the direct outcome of your devotion to truth, your willingness to honor a quiet vow you made to yourself under starlit skies or behind closed doors. As you hold this shield with humility and confidence, you realize it was not gifted to you by another. It was you all along, your cosmic DNA blossoming into its rightful expression. Chapter 3. The Illusions That Lost Their Hold. For ages, illusions wrapped around you like an intricate cocoon, each strand woven by external influences that profited from your doubt. They wanted you to believe your worth hinged on their approval, or that your soul's greatness was too far-fetched to be real. You can trace these illusions through your childhood teachings, societal norms, or the warped validation offered by certain relationships that thrived on your insecurity. If you stayed small and uncertain, you wouldn't question the systems or people who benefited from your compliance. Yet illusions break under the pressure of unwavering truth. With the seed of authenticity growing within, you began to see contradictions. Perhaps you noticed how certain people's actions clashed with their words, or how societal measures of success didn't align with your sense of purpose. Each inconsistency served as a crack in the walls that once enclosed your mind. Universal laws, specifically the principle of resonance, activated whenever you questioned these fabrications. By daring to call them out, if only within your own heart, you aligned with a higher frequency that illusion simply cannot match. Hidden antagonists recognize this shift. They tried to up the ante to feed you deeper distortions that might keep you entangled. You saw it in gaslighting statements, in orchestrated dramas, in attempts to seduce you with easy gains that felt hollow at the core. But you've gone too far along the path of self-realization for their tactics to work anymore. It's not that you never felt tempted or confused. It's just that illusions now triggered an inner alert, a sense of dissonance that guided you to protect your energy. Your ancestral protection doubled down at this stage, reinforcing your perceptions through signs and dream communications. A crow might have alighted on your windowsill at dawn, or a repeating number sequence haunted your steps, affirming your suspicions that you were on the brink of final release from these deceptions. Each time an illusion collapsed, you felt your shield grow stronger. It's like you had an energetic boundary that once wavered, but now stood firm. The Watchers noted your every triumph over these illusions, sending subtle waves of encouragement through your intuitive nudges. Where you once needed external validation, you learned to trust your own inner compass, anchored in cosmic DNA that resonates only with authenticity. With karmic justice at play, those who relied on illusions to maintain control found themselves stumbling, their old manipulations powerless against the radiant truth you now embodied. The illusions that lost their hold weren't just external. Some lived inside you as self-imposed stories, fears about not being talented enough, not being lovable enough, or not deserving a life of peace. These stories dissolved as you recognized them for what they were, echoes of conditioning, not reflections of your inherent worth. The Watchers, in their timeless wisdom, observed your internal rewiring. Each moment you replaced "I'm not worthy" with "I am complete in my own," a piece of your shield clicked into place. When illusions fail, the world appears in sharper focus. You perceive layers of beauty in what you once overlooked. Small kindnesses, the subtle dance of nature, fleeting instances of synchronicity. You also see more clearly the hidden antagonists still at work in society, but their influence on you diminishes. It's not that negativity ceases to exist, it's that it cannot permeate your newly formed shield. Freed from illusions, your life is guided by a compass set to truth. The Watchers celebrate each illusion that loses its hold on you, for every victory is a testament to the unstoppable momentum of spiritual awakening. You don't even have to fight these illusions anymore. Simply by existing in alignment with universal laws, you render them powerless. This new normal brings a peaceful vigilance. You remain aware that illusions can reemerge if your focus drifts, but you also trust your instincts to recognize them instantly. The era of illusions controlling your narrative is over. You have claimed your sovereignty, and your shield stands as a silent emblem of that triumph. Chapter 4. The Ancestral Presence Behind Your Protection. Your lineage isn't solely composed of names etched into family trees or faces captured in faded photographs. It also comprises an energetic heritage, a cosmic continuum that transcends time and place. Whether you know it or not, your ancestors have been championing your cause, infusing you with the resilience and wisdom required for moments like this. Though they once walked their own paths, grappling with illusions and heartbreak, they left behind a blueprint of survival and transcendence etched into the very strands of your DNA. As you grew into your power, these ancestral energies began to stir. You might have felt it in fleeting flashes, a warm presence by your side when you felt alone, sudden bursts of clarity that seemed to come from beyond your personal experience. Perhaps you were guided to a specific practice, dream journaling, meditation, or prayer. The Watchers work closely with these ancestral energies, creating a bridge that facilitates the transfer of ancient knowledge into your present reality. Each time you delved into your intuitive prompts, you strengthened this bridge, opening yourself to glimpses of a wisdom so old it defies linear history. Hidden antagonists might laugh at the notion of ancestral protection, dismissing it as superstition or folklore. But your own experiences have already proven otherwise. Patterns of synchronicity revealed themselves at precisely the right moments. A new friend showed up with the perfect insight, or a random piece of music sparked an epiphany you couldn't ignore. These weren't coincidences. They were alignment, orchestrated by the synergy of universal laws and ancestral guidance. The karmic justice embedded in your lineage also ensured that the negativity once shackling your forebears now becomes your impetus to break generational curses. If you've noticed a subtle shift in your dreams, encounters with distant figures in old world garments, or symbolic scenes that feel both unfamiliar and intimately yours, understand it's your ancestors reaching out. They may appear with messages scrolled on parchment or speak in a language you don't consciously understand, yet your soul translates it effortlessly. These dream communications aren't random illusions. They're coded transmissions that expand your shield, reinforcing your capacity to repel energies unaligned with your mission. In these dreams, you might notice references to realms or time periods you never studied, further confirming the boundless depth of your lineage. Ancestral protection isn't just spiritual comfort. It's a tangible force you can feel in your daily life. Perhaps you've dodged a harmful situation by following an inexplicable gut feeling, or you narrowly avoided making a costly decision thanks to a last-minute revelation. Often, your ancestors nudge you from the edges of your consciousness, ensuring you remain in the timeline that optimizes your cosmic DNA's full potential. The Watchers note each instance where you heed this guidance, observing how smoothly you bypass pitfalls that once trapped you. This ancestral presence also amplifies your newfound shield against negative energies. Whenever hostility or malice tries to intrude, the echoes of your lineage intervene, reminding you of the countless battles fought by those who came before. Their triumphs and lessons reverberate through your bones, offering assurance that you too possess the courage to stand unyielding. It's not a matter of arrogance, but of rightful inheritance. The illusions that once targeted your vulnerabilities now crash against a lineage-fortified boundary they never accounted for. In these sacred moments, you realize how connected you truly are to your ancestry, to universal laws, to the Watchers who have guided your path. The lines between past, present, and future blur, converging in a point of luminous clarity where your shield solidifies. No negativity can trespass upon your soul without your conscious permission, and you have no intention of granting such access. In forging this bond with your ancestors, you reclaim pieces of yourself that were scattered by time, creating an unbreakable fortress around your spirit. With each breath, you honor not just your own journey, but the collective triumph of all those who walk before you, culminating in this extraordinary moment of self-possession and grace. Chapter 5. What you did to spark this change. You might think the recent shift in your energy field has sprang out of nowhere, but that's far from the truth. Deep down, you've been progressively aligning yourself with universal laws and ancestral wisdom, priming the stage for a powerful act. This act, while it may have seemed ordinary or mundane at the time, carried profound spiritual weight. Perhaps you set a boundary in a relationship that once drained you, or you decided to speak a truth you bottled up for too long. Maybe you forgave someone you never thought you could, or you released a long-held resentment that was poisoning your spirit in that moment, be it a tearful confession, a compassionate conversation, or a silent vow. You triggered a cosmic response. Universal laws kicked into gear, magnifying the frequency you chose to embody. The Watchers, who constantly gauge your readiness, recognize that the illusions clinging to your aura no longer served any purpose. In a blink, they collapsed like a house of cards, unveiling a clarity you hadn't experienced before. You sensed it as a rush of relief or an unexpected burst of calm, a tangible sign that something profound had just taken place. Hidden antagonists attempted to minimize your decision. If they were external, they might have scoffed or belittled your newfound conviction. If they were internal voices in your mind, they might have cast doubt on the significance of your act, calling it trivial or temporary. Yet illusions have less and less power now. Your cosmic DNA resonates at a frequency that detects falsehood almost instantly. You recognize those objections for what they were, last-ditch attempts to undermine a breakthrough. By standing firm, you affirm the act's importance, cementing its transformative effect on your energetic field. Your ancestral protection also played a role in the lead-up to your decision. You might have felt a persistent nudge, as though unseen hands gently guided you toward that moment of courage. Nights of unusual dreams or waking hours filled with synchronous messages prepared you, even if you weren't fully conscious of the orchestration. The Watchers have witnessed countless souls approach pivotal choices, and they never fail to note that the boldest transformations happen in instances of raw authenticity. A cry from the heart, a prayer for release, or a sudden refusal to accept anything less than truth. What you did was choose alignment over fear. That's why negativity can't latch on to you the way it once did. You've established a baseline of self-honesty that resonates with the universal flow. Karmic justice shows favor to those who live in this alignment. The illusions that tried to feed on your insecurities find no fertile ground to root in anymore. Each day that passes, you feel the shield strengthen, a reminder that once you step out of illusions, you never have to return unless you willingly step back into them. In the aftermath, you may notice subtle changes. Your self-talk becomes kinder. Your relationships either deepen or fall away if they don't match your new vibration, and opportunities that once seemed distant appear within reach. This is no coincidence. It's the world reflecting back your internal shift. Universal laws respond faithfully to the energy you project, bringing you encounters and possibilities that match your newly fortified soul. You also realize that what you did wasn't just for yourself. In fulfilling this act, you contributed to the collective tapestry of awakened souls. Each time one person breaks free from illusions, it sends ripples through the collective consciousness, inspiring others to question their own limitations. The Watchers quietly applaud this chain reaction, for it confirms the unstoppable tide of truth rising across dimensions. So if you ever question the weight of that recent decision, if you think, was it really that big a deal? Remember how drastically your energy shifted the moment you made it. That shift is your proof. It's the cosmic signature that you moved into a new realm of self-sovereignty and universal alignment. You performed an act of quiet heroism that redefined your spiritual trajectory. Therein lies the essence of your shield. It's the byproduct of a heart that dared to stand in truth when illusions tried to reign. And now no negativity has the power to pierce what you have built through your own courage and devotion to what's real. Chapter 6. The new reality you have entered. Stepping beyond illusions and forging a shield of authenticity has ushered you into a reality that resonates on a higher frequency. This new realm feels brighter, more expansive, as if you've been invited behind the curtain of an ongoing cosmic performance. You notice synchronicities with startling regularity, as though the universe is whispering confirmations at every turn. Even your challenges shift in character. They no longer feel designed to break you, but rather to polish and refine your emerging strengths. In this reality, negativity cannot cling to you as easily, and the hidden antagonists who once thrived on your doubt find their influence waning. They may try a few last tactics, subtle manipulations, backhanded compliments, or orchestrated dramas intended to lure you back into chaos. But karmic justice works swiftly now, ensuring that every misguided action aimed at you rebounds on them instead. The Watchers silently orchestrate these revelations, not out of malice, but to uphold the principle that illusions cannot stand in the presence of a soul operating in truth. You'll find yourself increasingly surrounded by like-minded individuals, other chosen ones stepping into their cosmic DNA. Some appear as new friends who share your passions. Others may be mentors who've walked this path before and can offer guidance. Even those you already know might reveal deeper facets of themselves, acknowledging shared spiritual experiences you never suspected. It's as if your shield also acts as a beacon, drawing kindred spirits who resonate with your frequency of integrity, courage, and love. This new reality also extends to your daily interactions. Small moments brim with meaning, the casual conversation that sparks a profound insight, the random film or song that seems tailor-made to affirm your journey, the unexpected encounter that paves the way for your next level of growth. Each instance is more than coincidence. It's universal design, responding to the clarity of your intent. The Watchers observe these microsynchronicities, noting how fluidly your life flows once illusions no longer set the rhythm. Ancestral protection, of course, remains vigilant. You may still face external hurdles, financial, emotional, relational, but now you handle them with an unshakable calm. The sense of overwhelm you once battled is replaced by acquired knowledge that you are guided. Dream communication becomes more vivid, and messages from your ancestors might appear even in waking life. A photograph falling off a shelf at a precise moment, or a stray snippet of a conversation that illuminates the next phase of your growth. These signs reaffirm that your shield is not merely personal, but also collective, part of a tapestry woven by generations seeking liberation and higher truth. Though negativity no longer holds you captive, you do carry a new responsibility: to walk with humility, ensuring your shield does not morph into arrogance. The Watchers see many awakened souls who, once freed from illusions, risk inflating their egos. But the cosmic DNA that flows in your veins encourages constant evolution, not stagnation. Yes, you are protected from negative energies, but that doesn't mean you're beyond growth or that compassion is no longer needed. Your journey continues, and each day you refine your shield, balancing self-preservation with empathy for others still ensnared by illusions. Look around you. Do you notice how the air feels lighter, how your own breath feels more purposeful? This is the essence of the new reality you inhabit. Less cluttered by doubt, more alive with potential. The Watchers record your every triumph here, each challenge conquered not by brute force, but by standing firmly in your truth. It's a world in which your spirit can dance free, without the shackles that once bound you. Perhaps the greatest revelation is that this realm was always available. You simply needed to align with it through your act of authenticity. Now that you're here, negativity stands little chance of derailing the journey you fought so hard to claim. Chapter 7: Living as the Shieldbearer. You have arrived at a place where negativity can no longer infiltrate your core, but this new state of being asks you to live with a deeper sense of purpose. Holding this shield isn't a passive affair. It means embodying your truths daily, refusing to revert to old habits that once invited darkness into your life. You stand as a guardian, not just for your own spirit, but for others who see your example and realize they too can break free from illusions. The Watchers regard this as the ultimate role of a chosen one, to serve as a catalyst for collective awakening. One of the first keys to living as a shield bearer is to maintain vigilance over your inner world. Negativity may not latch on to you as before, but it can still attempt to slip past your boundaries if you let old thought patterns resurface. This is where your cosmic DNA and ancestral protection shine the most. Whenever self-doubt or sorrow tries to creep in, you can call upon the wisdom coursing through your lineage. A simple prayer, a moment of stillness, or a dream communication might remind you of your unbreakable tie to those who came before you. In turn, universal laws reward this conscious alignment, reinforcing your shield and expanding your capacity to hold high vibrational states. Hidden antagonists might also test the perimeter of your shield, checking if you've grown complacent. They may launch subtle attacks disguised as harmless banter or attempt to sow discord in your relationships. But illusions can't find purchase on a mind that has embraced clarity. Even if you momentarily waver, you quickly sense the disharmony and correct course. The Watchers stand by, nudging you toward any resources or allies that can support your equilibrium. Sometimes a timely book or a spontaneous conversation offers exactly the insight needed to dismiss negativity before it takes root. Walking this path also means you become more discerning about the energies you allow into your life. Whether it's the media you consume or the social circles you maintain, you understand that every choice feeds into your energetic ecosystem. By curating these inputs, you keep your shield pristine, ensuring it remains a conduit for love, courage, and wisdom. In turn, karmic justice continues to realign your external environment, drawing in experiences that match your elevated frequency. You see it in the growth of your creative projects, the synchronicities that guide you to supportive people, and the peace that settles in your home like a gentle, ongoing blessing. Yet living as the shield bearer does not make you insensitive to others' struggles. On the contrary, it heightens your compassion. You empathize with those still caught in illusions, remembering how stifling that felt. When they see you thriving without drama or negativity, some may feel inspired to question their own limitations. You become a quietly influential figure, transforming corners of the world that used to dim your light. This is the Watcher's delight, to witness a chosen one evolving past personal liberation into a role of subtle leadership in the collective awakening. Ancestral protection also ensures that your path remains connected to a grander tapestry. You sense that your actions ripple backward and forward in time, healing lineages and shaping futures. Each time you stand firm against illusions, you validate the sacrifices of ancestors who once struggled under heavier burdens. Each time you show kindness where there could have been bitterness, you offer future generations a blueprint for resilience and grace. This cyclical interplay further fortifies your shield, turning every act of everyday goodness into a cosmic anchor that secures your place in the unstoppable unfolding of higher truth. Finally, recognize that living as the shield bearer is an ongoing journey, not a static achievement. You will continue discovering new layers of your cosmic DNA, unraveling illusions you didn't know existed, and forging deeper alliances with watchers, ancestors, and kindred souls. Every dawn offers another chance to stand in unwavering sincerity, to champion love over fear, and to extend your shield of positivity to all who wander your way. This is your inheritance, your calling, and your greatest contribution to a world hungry for the illumination you carry. May you move forward in unwavering confidence, shield held high,